solid start, Sam. Obviously, the wheels kind of fell off towards the end. What changed it felt like in that first quarter, do you think?
Yeah, I think we started the game well. It was a bit of a focus. Obviously, we're coming off the bye. We wanted to make sure that we started well. We've had 3 pretty ordinary interstate games across the course of the year, and all of them we had a bad start. So, 10-minute mark, I thought, oh, well, boys are in a good spot and performing to the right level and going about it in the right way. And unfortunately, we just couldn't sustain it, and their pressure continued on, and we couldn't.
It looked like their running just sort of got the better of a bit, harder and harder to get out of your defence, and that they kind of lost a bit of confidence maybe in what they were doing.
Yeah, I think we had to change a couple of things. I think they got right on top of us at the start of the second quarter. We were actually able to stem the bleeding. I think it was only 10 points at half time, and really, probably at quarter time we should have been more in front. But certainly at half time they should have been a long way further in front at that stage, and we were able, pleasingly not to give up too big a lead in the second quarter. And I thought going into half time, okay, 10 points away venue. This is not a bad position to be in, and I think we can go okay here. But unfortunately, they got right on top the rest of the game, and we just couldn't get anything going.
How harsh do you have to be on that performance compared to 2 weeks ago? How good you were? Like, do you look at that really critically, or do you just chalk it up as an anomaly with the young side, or what do you have with that?
Oh, we don't chalk up anything to an anomaly. I think when you're on the journey we're on, we know that there's going to be steps forward, and unfortunately some of those steps will be very, very, very small. And at the moment I can't find too many positives out of today. But I mean, we looked at that, and I think we all hoped, we'd won 3 out of 4, and we were sort of feeling, okay, maybe we're moving along pretty well. And then, today it's a reality check, and we know our best footy is pretty good, but when we don't play at our best and we can't consistently perform at the level, then we get a touch up. And today, we just had no answers for their game style in the end, and they performed pretty well across the full 4 quarters. Even in the early part of the game, I thought we actually played well to get our first 3 goals. It wasn't their bad play, so I think that they defended us well for the whole day.
When you're on the back foot like that, are you still keen for them to keep taking the game on, or are you trying to get the balance right with the gears, or whatever phrase you like to use?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, in the second quarter, it was about trying to take the sting out of the game. It felt like they were on top, and we just didn't want them to score. After that, we knew we were going to have to score to win, so we tried to play a bit more. With a bit more freedom and a bit more, speed in the game, and we just couldn't get anything going. And when we did get it forward, we couldn't win a contest. So I think what they did really well was they won the critical contests behind the ball for them, and we weren't able to win those. And then they were able to outnumber it, just far too many contests. And if we ever did get an outnumber, we weren't able to utilise it. So I think their work rate taught us a bit of a lesson today.
There are a couple of times where players getting into each other, obviously don't know who starts, that kind of stuff, but do you think there was a bit of frustration from your side out there on the field that maybe was a bit too obvious?
I guess in a sense I'm glad that they were doing something. I think you don't want to be a team that, the game wasn't going our way for long periods, and if they're showing frustration in an undisciplined way that's giving away free kicks, then I wouldn't be too happy with that. But if there was some remonstrating to try and change the state of the game, I think that's a positive. We tried to pull some levers today to get the game back on our terms, and clearly none of those seemed to work. So the players tried to play with some heart and trying to create something in the game. I'd encourage that.
There's a lot of goals late. It seemed like there was maybe 4 goals late, 3 or 4 late. Is that more reflective of the result that maybe should have been, or are you disappointed the way it sort of dropped off?
No, I was really disappointed in the last quarter. I think it was 35-0 in the last quarter, and I think when you're a fan of a club and you're a member of a club like Hawthorn, what you want to see is progress towards what we're doing, and you want to see spirit and belief in the direction that we're going. And I think we played Port Adelaide a few weeks ago, and we were, a long way down at half time. But you looked at the group and you said they played with a spirit and belief that they knew how to get back into this game, and we were able to hit the scoreboard pretty well in the second half. Today, unfortunately, we just never could find a way to get ourselves up and going to create energy in the game. And I think, unfortunately, the players and the staff, and I feel like we let our people down today because we just couldn't get anything going. And a bit of credit goes to Gold Coast; they did a great job, but I think our players and staff will be disappointed with the performance today.
You're like the latest example of a team that's gone for bye and struggled. We know what happens, as in teams have byes every year, but this year it seems distinctly one-sided. Have you got a theory on
No, if I had a theory, I would have. Well, we had a theory and we used it. It didn't work. So, I don't think we've got. I think some of the other clubs, they wouldn't have known that pattern, but we did know it. So we've got absolutely no excuse around the bye. That doesn't stand up at all. I think we've got to be better, and I think we'll 7 days we play Carlton, and we'll lick our wounds, and we just got to get back on the horse and go again. So 24 hours to feel sorry for ourselves, and then we're on to the Blues.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.